Okay, so we still have more people to attend the class. Okay, just try to attend because I'm going to start the class, 7th graders. I'm going to start the class. Okay, one more time. If I can't hear you, there is no problem for today. I might have a problems with the mics. It's okay. You just can focus on what I will tell you today because it's an important class. We will talk about the writing in our first unit. Who am I? I will talk about the writing today, and your writing title will be completing a form. We will learn how to complete a form in the right or the correct way in English. Okay, we will learn that together. For people who ask me about the speaking and listening, because we are taking online classes, we have an emergency plan, okay? So in this case, we can't give you guys the listening and speaking classes because we can't face each other inside one class. So for the listening and speaking exercises, we will talk about them later on in different exercises or in different ways. I will contact with you in order to just complete the form of both of them or for these two skills. But today we are going to talk about our writing, and you can find it inside your student books in page 14. Okay, so student books in page 14 will be talking about completing a form. Okay, let's start today. Writing, completing a form. Okay, what's a form? We have to learn or to understand the meaning of the word form before we start the writing and the writing strategies. Okay, what is a form? form 7th graders اللي هي مشهورة عنا بكلمة النموذج. إيش هو الفورم؟ form اللي هو النموذج. Okay, so what's a form? A form is a document. Document مشهورة بوثيقة with spaces. It's a document with spaces. And these spaces have names. These spaces have names. Okay, so it's a form. It's a document like this one, this one, this one, or this one. We have shapes, okay, for the document or for the forms. And for this shape, okay, for this shape, we have spaces. These spaces, we call them fields or placeholders. We call them fields or placeholders, okay? 7th graders, I see that some of you are trying to represent. Please, I have a class here. I don't want you guys to represent now because I want you to focus on the thing that I am saying, okay? Stop trying to stream something or represent something until I let you to. Just focus on the class. Okay, just a minute. Just a moment, because Miss Summer is attending our class for today. She wants to watch guys for you. Okay, so let's continue. So we said that we call these spaces fields or placeholders. So we have two different names for the spaces inside of these documents or forms. These spaces, what do we do with them? In which to write or select? We can write, fill inside these spaces or fields with our handwriting, with our pens, or the pen or pencil they ask us, the person who is asking from us to fill in the form or to write or select from the form. Sometimes they will ask you to write in a specific pen، الكتابة بقلم محدد. Okay, so in which to write or select. So these fields, you can fill them, you can write inside them, or you can select the right answer from them. So this is the document, or this is the form. One more time. What's a form and how we can write or complete a form? A form is a document with spaces which we can call fields or placeholders in which to write or select. So we can write inside of them, or we can write or select the choose and choose the correct answer. Okay, what's a document and the form? Form مشهورة عنا بالنموذج. Document مشهورة عنا بالوثيقة. Okay, and as you see here, we have different shapes for these forms and these documents. So this one, you can select or put tick on the right answer or the answer that suits you. This is for the registration, something to register for, something to be a part of. And this is a document to write inside. And this is another document to choose and write both. Okay. Just a couple of minutes. Just a couple of minutes, just 7th graders. Okay, just a couple of minutes, 7th graders. We are trying to fix the issue of the microphones. Just a couple of minutes. We are trying to fix the issue of the microphones. Okay, so let's continue with the class. I will try to fix the microphones issue later, but just continue. Let's continue with the class here. Okay, so what types of forms? What types of forms do we have? Or how many types of forms do we have? Every document with personal information might be a form. Every document with personal information might be a form, such as what? Application. An application, when you just fill the application sometimes to travel, an application, let's say to get into a job or a work, and we have the membership. Sometimes when you are sitting inside the class and someone from the management comes to you and tell you this is a form in order to fill to get this membership inside of something, inside of a competition, this is a form to fill, okay? So this is a form to fill. Sometimes the emails can be form, okay? So the email is a type or a kind of form. Exams. Don't you have inside of your exams spaces to fill, to write inside? We call this a form. Online profiles, okay? Online profiles, which you have something like the social media profiles, you can fill inside them with your personal personal information. Personal information مشهورة بالمعلومات الشخصية. So every document with personal information, كل وثيقة بمعلومات شخصية, we can call it a form. We can call it النموذج. Such as what? So these are examples, 7th graders, of forms and documents: application, membership, emails, exams, online profiles, etc. Okay. What about the form structure? The form structure is how we find these kinds of what? These kinds of forms. How we find these kinds of forms inside our lives. Okay, form structure. What's a form structure? We have it as a frame and fixed content. The frame and fixed content اللي هي الشكل كامل والمحتوى. Okay, frame and fixed content. So this is the first structure. What's a frame and fixed content? Part of the document that never changes. Part of the document that never changes. Usually a frame with title and textual instructions. So when someone gives you a piece of paper, okay? When someone gives you a piece of paper, what do? You just go ahead and check the form out of it, okay? You just go ahead and check the form out of it. So, how do we check the form? What's a form? A form is the frame, the shape of this paper. شكل النموذج أو شكل الوثيقة. With fixed content. What's a fixed content? Something that never changes. مثلا عندي الخانة تاعت الاسم بنموذج معين. This is not changeable. The person who is giving you the form or the document will not change this because it's not changeable. And they use it with the same instructions. They just tell you, okay, that if you want to fill the name field, or if you want to write something here, please write your name in this way. This way is the instructions اللي هي عبارة عن التقنيات أو الدلائل كيف أنت تكتب شيء معين. Okay, 7th graders, so the first form structure is the frame and fixed content. What are they? Part of the document that never changes, اللي هي حقول غير متغيرة. Usually a frame with title and textual instructions. Okay? So, let's move to the second form structure, which we call placeholders. Placeholders. We said we have two different names for these. We have the placeholders and fields and spaces. Okay, three different names, sorry. So the placeholders will be taken as the one to deal with. Okay, boxes or spaces where the user can write or type to fill in the form. What are the placeholders? The boxes or spaces where you can, you as the user or me as the user, can write or type to fill in the form. So these are the form structures. Okay, let me check on you, 7th graders. Most of you are here. That's good. Okay, 7th graders, for the students who wants to ask me who wants to ask me a question, please send the question on the EduNation because I have a problem with the mics and the chatting. I'll try to fix it later, okay? It's okay if I can't hear you today. It's okay if I can't hear you today. Just try to focus on the class, please. It's okay if I can't hear you today. Just try to focus on the class. Okay, so let's continue with the class, or let's go back to the class. I'll just wait a couple of moments until you see the screen. Yes, that's good. Okay. We need to learn how to write the information correctly in English. We need to learn how to write the information correctly in English, okay? So, I'm going to let you learn and save how do we fill in or write or choose and select the best answers about the personal information about you, me, everyone, okay? كيف تختار الأجوبة الصحيحة وكيف تعرف كيف تعبي النماذج باللغة الإنجليزية بشكل جدا صحيح ووافي. Okay, so first you need to focus on accuracy. You need to focus on accuracy. كيف تخلي لحالك وجود بشكل صحيح، اوكي؟ وشو الظاهر يلي رح يطلع عنك. When you complete a form, you need to give the following information and these to be saved, okay? So in each form, in each document, they just go on and ask you to fill in these kind of information, okay? So first, you need to focus on the accuracy of yourself, and when you are completing the form, you need to give the following information. You need to give the following information. What are they? First, we have the title. First, we have the title. The title is what? The title is the shape or the way I'm addressing your name. التايتل هو عبارة عن عنوانك أو اللقب تبعك. إيش أنا بحط قبل اسمك؟ شو التايتل تبعك؟ شو العنوان تبع اسمك؟ أوكي؟ اللي هي عبارة عن اللقب اللي بلقبك فيه. We have these as the famous or the most popular. Mr., Mrs., Miss, Mr., Mrs., Miss, and Miss. So we have two words that we call Miss. So Mr., Mrs., Miss, and Miss. These two are the same but in different functions. First name and the surname. We all know that the first name is your name that we call you with. The surname اللي هو اسم العائلة. Okay? For people who do not know or can't remember. Age and or date of birth, okay? So age and date of birth. They might ask you to fill in the form with your age, or they ask you date of birth. Why these two? So why this one or this one? Because if you give them directly your age, you are already giving the age of your, okay? But if they ask you about the date of birth, they can manage to know your age. إذا يا بيسألوا عن عمرك يا بيسألوا عن تاريخ ميلادك، لأنه إذا ما أعطيت عمرك الحقيقي أو الوافي بيعرفوا عمرك من تاريخ ميلادك, and this is known for all of you. What's the shortcut initial letters for date of birth? We all know that the initial letters are the first letters of the word in order to represent it. So D-O-B, date of birth, and you can find it as a full words, date of birth, or you can find it in the initial words D-O-B in capital letters. So D-O-B in capital letters. So they might ask you, sorry, about the age or the DOB, which is the date of birth. Let's continue. You have the place of birth, okay? The place of birth, where you were born. Home address, where you are living, okay? Or the place you live at. You just put the address of it, and I will teach you in the upcoming lessons how to do that or how to fill in the right way the home address of yours. Phone number, your phone number. Your phone number can be divided into two numbers. You have the landline اللي هو الرقم الأرضي, and the mobile phone or the mobile number اللي هو رقمك الهاتف المحمول, okay? Email address, your personal email address, okay? They are not asking you about someone else. Your personal email address, إيميلك اللي بتستخدمه. And you have the users, right? The users are emails. You have the users for the teams, for the EduNation, etc., etc. These users are your emails, personal emails. Okay. Interests. In what do you have interest? What are your hobbies? Okay, that you have the interest in them. So they are not asking you about the hobbies specifically. They are asking you about your what? Your interests, okay? What you are interested in. So these were the information, the pieces of information you might give inside of what? Inside of a form or a document. As you see here, you have a couple of icons. These icons, you might find them instead of the words sometimes inside of a form. Just a couple of minutes, let me check on you, 7th graders. Okay, so 7th graders, one more time. For people who are trying to ask me questions, please send your question when we are done with the class on the EduNation. It's okay because I have a problem with the microphones and the chatting room. It's okay if I can't hear you today. It's okay if you can't participate. It's okay. It's okay. Stop raising your hand. I can see your hands up, but the let's say the setting can't just open, okay? I can't just let you talk or chat for today. So it's okay. Just send me the question you want on the EduNation so I can answer you. It's fine if you can't talk today. Okay. Yes, just a minute. Let me go back to the screen. Okay, so as you see here, we have a bunch of what? We have a bunch of icons. Okay, what do we use these icons for? This is the title icon. So sometimes or in a couple of forms or documents, you might see the icon instead of the word or instead of the instruction word. So they do not give you title. They just put you this icon and you have to know and learn from this icon that they are asking for your title. People are different, okay? So one of them or one of the men might like you to address them with Mr., but most of them do not. Most of women would like you to address them with Mrs., and it has issues. I will tell you about them later, okay? And most of them not. Miss in this way and Miss in this way, we call the single lady with them. So most of them would like you or would ask from you to ask them with miss or address them with miss this way, that's written in this way, or most of them might ask you to write or address them with miss in this way. So people are different, and we will learn more details about that in the next class. This icon, what's about this icon? This icon, it has something here written as the first name, but you can't see it, it's too small. Okay, so this icon resembles what? The first name or the full name, the first name or the full name. This resembles you guys, okay? Either if you were a female or males. So this is a picture of a person, okay? A creature. So this resembles for the first name or surname. What about this one? This resembles about or talks about your age or the DOB. This icon talks about the age or the DOB, the date of birth. This one resembles what? The age specifically, the age specifically. So as you see here, time, the clock here resembles what? Resembles the, let's say, the age going on among years. So in each year, in each time, you are growing more. So the young person and the old person. So this resembles the age inside of the icon. This one is the place of what? Sometimes they call it the place of birth, and sometimes they call it the home address. So they give you the icon with one of these. It has to be written because it resembles for both the place of birth and the home address, okay? Both. So they have to give you the icon with one of these written. Phone number, for the phone number, they don't have a specific icon, let's say for that, but they just ask you to put the landline or the mobile number. For this one, this icon is for your email address, okay? So when you find it, you just have to write or take on your email address inside of a form. Interest in what you are interested, what you would like to do if you get this job, if you get this, if you get in this inside of this competition, etc. What are your interests or what you can do and help people inside of this, let's say, area that has the form or the document. Okay. إذن سابع، نحن اليوم أخذنا بطريقة مفصلة، خلينا نحكي عن النماذج. تمام يا مس؟ النماذج اللي هي عبارة عن الوثائق اللي احنا بيطلبوا منا الناس بأماكن مختلفة انه نحن نعبيها، ولما نعبيها لما زي ما شفنا هون هو ملخص كامل باللغة العربية. Let's say in order to help you understand in your mother tongues. Okay, so النماذج زي ما شفنا هون، في عنا نماذج نحن بنعبيها وفي نماذج نحن بنختار فيها الإجابة الصحيحة عن البيرسونال let's say personal information اللي هي عبارة عن معلوماتكم الشخصية. and we have different examples، في عنا أمثلة كتير مختلفة عن هاي النماذج. ممكن تكون طلب، ممكن تكون طلب الحاق مشاركة، إيميلات، امتحانات، والملفات الشخصية. Okay. And we took also about the form structure اللي هي الطريقة اللي بنبنى فيها هذا النموذج. رح تشوفوا اللي هو الشكل والمحتوى، وفي عندكم الحقول اللي لازم تعبوها بهذا النموذج and the pieces of information we talked about them enough. So this was the end of part 1 of your writing lesson. If you have any question, just hit me with it on the EduNation. Just go on your EduNations, on the messages, send me the question you would like to ask. I'll answer until we get to the end of this day. Okay, and I hope you enjoyed and understood something about the writing. Good luck to you all and have a happy ending holiday. Thank you so much. Bye bye.